So I'm with Alison Fabella from the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, and you just talked about news SEO, and one thing that was key to your talk was this new metric, which is social media is bigger than porn now. And news is like 47% of content on Twitter. So I was just wondering, what can you shed light on some of the tactics for Facebook and Twitter, and how you choose which social media channels to promote your content?
Well, I think one of the most important things is to know your audience. And even within your own news organization, there are going to be different types of audiences. There'll be the type of audience that will be interested in finding out more of the hard news. For instance, we've got a beat reporter that does business news, and so that might be a good opportunity for a fan page for, like, reporting Delta reports. That could be different if Delta Airlines, there is kind of a catfight with flight attendants. Then that is a perfect opportunity for Twitter, because it's going to be a more sexier story, might skew a little bit younger, and it is just sort of the story that kind of might come and go, or it might become viral. So you really have to know what the story is, know who your audience is, and then match that to your type of platform.
So one thing you said that I thought was really interesting is that Facebook users seem to prefer the kind of hard, traditional news content, and you said Twitter is more tabloidy.
A little bit, yeah.
Do you think, is that something to do with, just completely different people on those platforms, or just the way that those networks work?
I think it's a combination of both. We know that demographically, Facebook tends to skew a little bit older, and people spend a lot of time on Facebook. I can't remember what the statistic is, but I think like the average user spends like 20 minutes on Facebook, or maybe it's even more than that. That means that these people are interested in a particular niche or topic, and they are there going for that, and they are there for the long haul. That's going to be a little bit different than Twitter. They tend to be a little bit younger, and they're just sort of in and out for their news, quickie kind of stuff.
And Facebook, one thing about fan pages is a lot of sites just put a fan page, plug a feed in, and then just leave it running. Is that a great tactic?
It's not ideal. It really depends on scale. We struggle with that at the AJC. There are so many pressures put on reporters already to produce more, and first it was just print, and then after that it became online, and now it's become social media. We do a combination of both. What would be ideal is if they could personalize everything, but they can't. So there are times when we do rely on feeds.
So do you occasionally have journalists interacting with your Facebook fan page, or do you let your fans just talk amongst themselves?
There's a lot of interaction, and again, it varies per fan page. I see a lot of interaction on Twitter, in fact. One of our we have a Pulitzer Prize winning comic illustrator, Mike Lukovich, and what Mike does every day is that he does two things. One, he talks about the type of cartoon that he's going to be putting up for the day, and it'll say something funny like, "I really love drawing Obama's ears," just like this little tease. And then once he puts it out, then he puts a link to it, and he's getting a lot of traffic that way. And people will come back and say, "Oh, that's a really great one, Mike. I love that. What have you got tomorrow?" And so there's really this conversation. It's a lot of fun.
Wow. And if you had one tip that publishers were to take away and go and implement tomorrow, what would it be? Any ideas?
Don't fear social media. I know that there are a lot of pressures on journalists to keep producing, but look at it as an opportunity. One of our reporters refers to social media as self-publishing, which I really like that idea. There's a lot of competition for kind of homepage placement for your article. Between SEO and social media, these has just opened up the universe to people who are out there writing great stories, and this is just more ways for them to get found.